So this kid, he really wants to eat people. Literally. Now his name is Isai, and he's from Japan, and he comes from a really wealthy family. And one day, he's in class in the first grade, and he starts noticing his classmates' legs. And Isai is like, damn, that leg looks kind of tasty. And in fact, it looks so tasty to him that he kind of has the urge to bite into it. And his classmate is a boy, and he doesn't even like boys. And that's when Isai realizes that he kind of wants to eat people. And from that point on, he regularly fantasizes about gnawing on people constantly. And as the years pass, this fantasy of his just gets stronger and stronger. And specifically, he has a thing for Western women who are tall. Because, he's a short king. So he wants to eat a tall white woman. And eventually, Isai grows up, and he's 24 years old, and by this point, he's going out of his mind with these cannibalism fantasies. And that's when he finally gets an opportunity. Because one day, around this time, he notices a young German woman, and she's tall and white. So Isai, he low-key starts to follow her around, even following her to her home. And in doing that, he notices that when the weather is warm, she leaves her bedroom window open at night. So then one night, he decides he's gonna go for it. He's gonna sneak into her apartment, cut off a piece of her, and he's gonna eat it. So he goes to her apartment, and he climbs in and he creeps through her window while she's there in her bed sleeping. So now he's in her apartment, and unfortunately for him, she hears him, and suddenly, bam, she wakes up, and she starts screaming, and she freaks out, and she pushes him down to the ground because, he's not very big, so she overpowers him. And Isai panics, and he's like, oh shit, and he runs away. But unfortunately for him, she calls police, and police catch up to him, and bam, they arrest him. And they have no idea that he was trying to eat this woman, so they just end up charging him with SA. But remember how I said that he comes from a wealthy family? Well, lucky for him, his dad steps in and pays a large settlement to that German woman in exchange for her dropping the SA charges against Isai. So after all that, Isai walks away from this with a clean record. 4 years later, he moves from Tokyo all the way over to Paris. He's 28 years old at this point, and he wants to study language and get his PhD from the university there. However, his desire to eat people still hasn't gone away. So while he's there in Paris trying to get his PhD, nearly every night he hires a prostitute and he brings them home. And there he waits for a moment when they turn their back to him. And when they do, he low-key gets his rifle, because I guess he has a rifle, and he points it at them, because he's gonna unalive